We would like to present 2 questions about irony and setting that we have been working with the past 3 weeks. An important technique in this book is the irony, which makes the reader laugh through the sometimes mismatched characteristics of specific situations. An example of this use of irony could be the dead duck scene. The amusement of Marcus killing a duck with a loaf of bread can in other words be a description of Fiona's attempted suicide.
Also, the author's novel appeals to a young audience because of the use of this irony. Besides the use of irony he makes use of, he also develops the character Will, who because of his personality swears a lot. It's very clear in the book that he curses when he's frustrated. Sometimes he forgets that he's talking to Marcus and it's not the right way to speak to your children. An example could be, "Fucking hell," said Will. "Sorry, I shouldn't say that in front of you, shouldn't I?" Another example of irony could be when Will says, "That's not a bloody sandwich, that's a bloody French though." No wonder kneeled over. The use of irony is strongly applied in the book also when Will says, "Right, hey, say what you mean, Marcus, don't beat around the bush." Another example would be when it contrasts with the rapidly changed tone of Fiona's suicidal attempt. This is also shown when the novel asserts, "His mom was half on the sofa, her head was lonely towards the floor. She was bright, and there was a pool of sick in the carpet." The quote is an example of a serious situation that Nick Hornby had managed to turn into a ridiculous situation. The author, Nick Hornby, has used humorous techniques to keep the reader entertained and thinking currently. He also uses humor because he would want to get onto the themes which are kind of tabooed, such as suicidal emotions and depressions.
Okay, I would now like to talk about the settings. The whole story takes place in London between the year 1993 and 1994. Their lives could have been different if they had lived in a countryside and had started a new life in a small village rather than living in London. Will is the type of man who sleeps around with a lot of different girls, has a special music taste, and is very self-centered. This is how a typical man from London behaves. Will is living the typical London life. He has money, the right clothes, listening to the right music, has a lot of one night stands and so on. More precisely, he's living the big city life. Nick Hornby has a tendency to make all of his characters this way in his other novels and books. All in all, the setting colors of personalities. Marcus and Fiona are from Cambridge and not so modern, which makes them even more weird because they now live in London. Will calls Marcus and Fiona hippies because they are so primitive and different compared to Will's lifestyle, where he is living in the past lane.
The mother is very different because she has different options than Will and has grown up in the countryside. And this is also another reason as to why Marcus is bullied, and it's because he's very different from the other children. Marcus also mentions that he did not get bullied in Cambridge, as the differences were more respected than they are in London.